Fueled by Deathcast.
We talked about it, and we eventually got together. I was on a break from Mudvayne for like 2 or 3 weeks, probably right before we get ready to go in the fucking studio or something again. So me and Jerry jumped on a plane and flew to Baltimore, and we wrote Waging War with Tommy Stickles, who was the drummer for Nothingface, Tom, Nothingface, Jerry was in Nothingface, and then me or whatever. And we just wrote that song, Waging War or whatever, with Tommy Stickles playing drums. And it was a fucking incredible song. And we wanted to be like fucking over the top, fucking like heavy as fuck, you know? And that song's super fucking heavy. It's actually on the first Hellyeah record because it was already written. So Vinnie played the drums. You know, Vinnie played the drums. He's like, all right. I mean, he loved the song. And that's all we got out of it, was just that one song, you know. And eventually in 2006 or whatever, you know, I get this call that fucking Vinnie wants to do it. And I'm like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? Yeah. Mind blown, you know. As we sit here and talk about Dave Mustaine and Kerry King and fucking all that shit, Vinnie Paul, hi, probably should have brought him up, you know, but he was a fucking hero of mine. So we had a short conversation on the phone. So 14 minutes and 38 seconds, I think is what it was. And just decided on, he's like, you know, man, he's like, I know you guys want to do really heavy and shit like that, like super heavy. And so he's like, but I'm more into the kind of groove thing. And I'm kind of like, yeah, I know that.
Yeah, kind of.
Pantera is like super groove, you know? So we didn't argue with it. We're like, fuck it. Let's just get together in a room. We went down to his house and fucking he put us up. He built these fucking, like a little, look almost like a trailer or whatever, but it had like 4 doors on the front of it. And those were just little bungalows or whatever. So he built us a house to come down, and we stood and we got in the room, man, and fucking wrote like the first fucking track I think we wrote was Nausea. And, you know, it just kept going and kept going and kept going. And we wrote that record, recorded, mixed, and mastered in 30 days, man. So, but Vinnie was the other side of that, where he was super fucking talented with drums, but he was a gearhead. He knew gear. He could mix. He could fucking, you know, he could record, and he could fucking write, man. Like I would come in, you know, with ideas, and I'd be fucking over the moon. Like take for example, like You Wouldn't Know. I was over the moon about that song. I fucking loved that track because it was different. It was rock, you know, which is something I'd never really done. And it's just such a straightforward rock track. And Vinny's sitting there. And I mean, I was so stoked about that chorus. He comes in there. I'm like, dude, come here, check this out. Blah, blah, blah. He sits down. He's like, play it again. Play it again. It's like, I don't hear the hook. I'm like, what? You don't hear the hook? What are you talking about? It's like, you know, that little part right there is like, couldn't be, maybe want to. Everything I've been through. Live your life. He's like, you know that little hole right there? I'm like, yeah. He's like, why don't you put that? You wouldn't know. So you couldn't be wanting. Everything I've been through. Wouldn't know. Live your life. And I'm like, I instantly heard it. Yeah. I'm like, get out. And I literally went, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. Then he come back in. He's like, that's it. You know,
wow.
But I mean, this is a drummer.
Yeah.
Giving me advice on vocals, and you missed the hook. And not only there is no hook, fix it. There is no hook. This is the hook. Sing it, and it's done. When I went down there and we started doing that, I made sure I made time in the midst of all the Mudvayne shit. You know, I'm like, I'm going to fucking do this. I wrote this record. I want to go tour it with Vinnie Paul and Tom, you know, and, you know, Greg on the first record. And, you know, I wanted to go do it, you know, and Greg wanted to do it too, obviously. So that helped with Greg being in it with me. You know, that helped me get that padding to get away from Mudvayne and go actually tour. And we didn't really care, you know. You can hear that on the first record. Like you can hear that when you listen to it, that we didn't have a formula and we didn't really have a fucking plan. We just wanted to try it and do it. And if it flew, then we do it and whatever, you know, and just, it became really fun. And Mudvayne was very much a business, you know, at the end. And there's a lot of eternal dissension created by other fucking people, you know, and Hellyeah became fun, you know, so I wanted to have fun playing music again, you know, so that was the course I chose. And, you know, but I had a fucking great run with it, and it's been a lot of fun playing in a band with one of my heavy metal heroes, Vinnie Paul, creating music with Tom, because he's fantastic. Kyle being in the fucking band was like, what the fuck? I mean, Kyle's so fucking bitchin'. He's such a great player. Yeah. I mean, he's a great fucking player. It's so funny too, because, you know, obviously I've had this talks with like Ryan, like, your inspirations, you know, and it's the same old. It's the Geddy Lee, Les Claypool, fucking, you know, Cliff Burton, you know. Kyle was the same way. He learned to play, you know, the Metallica shit. He learned to play the, you know, some Primus stuff. He learned to play, you know, Steve Harris, you know, like fucking, you know, fucking, you know, Maiden, all that shit. He learned how to play all that stuff, which is that galloping fucking, you know, he's a finger player, and, you know, but like Maiden's great for fucking, you know, finger dexterity, because I mean, it's just that gallop or whatever. And Kyle can do that, man. They're incredible. He's one of the best fucking bass players. I mean, I've had the honor and privilege and pleasure to play with arguably two of the best fucking bass players on the fucking planet.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you know, Ryan is a fucking monster, and fucking Kyle is a beast. He is so good, and he's such a great performer.
Yeah.
Man, I love him so much. Him and his whole damn family.